embargo by the U.S. They withheld food. In the during the Cuba, Jamaica was moving towards Cuba as communists. A lot of guns start coming to Jamaica. There's usually married food. Now you have drought. The prime minister at that time does resort to seeding the clouds to get food. First time you had money and could not buy food. In Jamaica, the CIA was there to topple the Jamaican government, and this is history. This is not my saying. And after the 70s election, 80s election, that government under PNP lost, and the food has come out from the wharf. We had drought, we have food shortages. There was a crisis in Jamaica. I remembered it vividly. When I went to buy things, I said, no flour. We have flour, but you cannot, it married to something else. You have to buy other things in the shop to get flour. That's what they told I have to go back with my little money. You had to eat them married. You know what they call the younger people? What they call married? If sugar and flour are scarce, you can't get them because you have to buy other things in the shop where the shopkeeper wants to sell. Go, use the mic, please. Use the mic. Across the mic. Yeah.
I remember clearly in the 80s when I went to get a pound of rice. The lady said I have to buy a pack of Stay Free.
Yeah, yes. I remember those days. Your younger persons will remember that. I remember that I had to turn back. Could not get things to buy. So imagine a drought that make it worse. Is it possible that they do something to the place that will create the drought on top of it? Because they have, I'm not going to get into it, yes. They have a system where you can get pure rainfall. Another system you do to the thing when what? Drought. It's a warfare using the weather. Hold a minute. Yes, go ahead. Go, Aria, stretch your hand.
Even though sometimes when like rice or flour is short, like they can't get a lot of it, they do like stipulate how much you can buy. So one person can come in and get a bag of rice or get 25. They will say, all right, if you get 10 this week, you can't come back till next week. They do it now in supermarkets still.
Wow. So imagine, these younger generation don't used to hardship in the 70s like how we did. And it is, there's one conversation at a time, please. Yes, all right. So we find that hard times or hard measures are put in place, and cloud seeding is the one that will, when you have rain, food will come. That happened in the Bible time when Elijah says, no rain, no dew. And it was what? Drought throughout the land of what? Samaria, Israel, and all of those places. And that's where Ahab and what? Jezebel come around. There is a drought, and the drought is caused through lack of water, rain. And it says here, using what? The food drought situation tells us there was a food drought situation also in 2014. And they were thinking of repeating history that we did in the 70s. All right? Now, it says, red words, it says, when we did it before, Jamaica was not washed away, which is a lie. Jamaica did wash away. Because it happened to Jamaica, and not only Jamaica, Cuba, who was so close, washed away, and they said it's Jamaica caused it because they see the cloud. So it was that, and we asked the question, the hurricane that came to Jamaica, what you noticed that was different from the rest of the hurricane, this hurricane? No lightning, no thunder. Go ahead, Elder Forrest, the mic, for the benefit of those who did not benefit this morning, use the mic, please, everyone. Go ahead, Elder.
As someone who is in farming, now the observation that I have made, in previous storms, after the storm is past, things would start spring up back. I realized that it's like something stained the plants. The banana, the leaves start changing, other plants start changing. Yes, like something was in it that burned them. So then
I did not notice that.
well, that's why I say as a farmer,
Yeah.
I've noticed it.
I was just saying, I'm agreeing with Elder Forrest because you're a farmer, I'm not. But based on passing even Sunday gone where we were in the country, the place just looks so destructive. Like it's not just a week ago it took place. It looked like it has been deserted for like maybe 10 years or more. The trees look really burnt, you know? So, yeah.
Also, I'm like 2 weeks ago, when I went to the country, I was even saying to another gentleman, another farmer, I was saying, I don't understand the banana trees and the plantain trees. The color, you know, like green, the color just start change. The colors change. It start like, it gets a different color green. And I was saying to him, I don't understand. When I was leaving here, the trees were not like this. How come? But I had no idea what it was at the time. Because I was saying, but all of a sudden, it just turned this color. And I was wondering, but now that you are saying it, because Ella Forrest is saying it, it's true and I can concur with what he's saying because it happened and I saw it.
Yes, this coming like an acid rain or acid storm because it leaves them brown, get like it queer like, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I the person who is a farmer, now I have to believe him because he's the one that has experience and observed the nature itself changing and knows there's something not normal. So we have to conclude that, and this is where the church has become a school, a hospital for us who is sick, so that we know that we don't have as easy as Sunday morning time. Because when a farmer like Elder Forrest is saying something is changing, they are doing something to the nature. All right? Now, as we said before, it has been tampered with. Why they are hyping St. Elizabeth more than Westmoreland? Do you know, can I ask the question and I see the point where I'm going? Where the eye of which direction in Jamaica it hit landfall? Which parish? That's what you think. No, it actually the band go where we call. I know the place. It has a next name like New Hope, and it's White House here. That's Westmoreland. White House is in Westmoreland, close to the border of St. Elizabeth, and that's why majority of the deaths in Jamaica comes from the parish of Westmoreland. And somebody said to me at work, it's because Westmoreland is win the election for PMP. And that area of St. Elizabeth is JLP. While they hype up, I said, no, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. And when I start to talk, she said, she hear that experience that because they want internationally push to bring a third city. That's it. Here, back to the screen. Let us look at this speech by the Prime Minister. Coming from the Office of the Prime Minister, it's an official site. And it says here, the official grand opening of the newest KFC in Black River, St. Elizabeth. The article was saying, when I looked on it, it says the first place in Jamaica to get electricity in its history is where? Black River. And that's where they started to bring history into prominence. How they structure it, where they're going to say. The first place in Jamaica now to become a smart city must be St. Elizabeth. That's where they're projecting. All right, now it says here, now for St. Elizabeth, several years ago, I had mentioned, this is the Prime Minister speaking, that Jamaica needs to purpose-build a city. We haven't really purpose-built a city. We have never done it. Certainly not since colonial times. Maybe Spanish Town was the only purpose-built city, and I had tasked the UDC to identify the area that would be best suited for the development of the third city. Now, it says it's not going to, article goes on forward and said it's not going to be like Montego Bay or Kingston. It says here in bold letters, you want to create something what? Unique. So it doesn't exist. It's type of city. What they are alluded to. Now, if you move forward and go to the UDC site, no, please, see where we're going. It says, UDC says, the next city is one of its priority projects, like many new cities in what? Across the world. Jamaica is moving towards purpose-built urban. So the same line of words, title use purpose-built urban centers which provide what? Acceptable quality of life for all its residents with access to affordable housing, employment, green and what? Smart amenities and services. And smart is that it is IDU. Now, I lived where I live. I don't think I'm going to go through it, but I'm going to give you a part. I have a neighbor. And Altisha, this is the best thing for you and sister to hear this part. I didn't tell you this morning. I said, when I eat total, fulfill this satellite thing is the parish of St. Thomas. I'll tell you why. It is least developed in Jamaica. And that's why they were fighting, the citizens of St. Thomas was fighting for that highway to be there. All right? But it's the least where there's less traffic. They had something below the water, you can't tell me, but it's below the water, that anybody across the shores of Jamaica, they can pick up, even 50 miles swimming, they can ID them. That's where the smart city goes. And he's endorsed the same thing that I told you. This person, who I also talked to, is a Seventh-day Adventist, a different person now, that says the same thing. I'm not going to call his name on here. Not what you think, my dear. This person sits on UDC board. And it said that after a while, when you're approaching these smart cities, they know who you are before you reach the city. So the toll roads are perfect for it. After a while, when you speed and go above the speed limit, as you reach the place to pay your boat, you'll get a ticket for speeding. That's how they do it in the first world countries. So they know everything about persons swimming in the sea, driving on the road, everything. You can't hide. And that is why I say that we're talking about us who live in gated communities. I'm saying they are using these new developments so that you get adjusted to what? Smart cities, 15-minute cities. So, you cannot invade a country like Jamaica and take it over and lick it on. They have to find weather to do the job. To what? Destroy and rebuild. All right? Now, let us look at this. Ellen White said this in The Great Controversy, page 583.3, to the screen. While appearing to children of men as a great physician who can heal all their maladies, he will bring disease and disaster until what? Populous cities are reduced to ruin and desolation. What that populous city would reduce? Reduce population, build smart cities. Even now, he is at work in accident calamities by sea and by land, in great conflagrations, in fierce tornadoes, terrific hailstorms, in tempests, floods, cyclones, tidal waves, and earthquakes. Cyclones are what? Hurricanes. In the eastern hemisphere of the world, they don't say hurricanes, say cyclones. In this western hemisphere, they don't use cyclones, they say storms, hurricane. All right? So the Bible also alluded to it, that the closer you come to the coming of Christ, the earth is being grown. Intensity of everything is being grown. And just like a woman giving birth to baby, more and more the baby is about to develop, the pain is become what? More and more what? Intense, painful. Same way where Christ is coming back to his earth. The more intensity of the earthquake and more harsh. And what this cry and disaster will bring forth? Famine, and not only that, a Sunday law. Climate change through Sunday law. All right? So therefore, let us look at something.
You know, I want to make note of the part that you said it sweeps away the ripening harvest.
All right? What Elder Forrest spoke on. It says, in every place and in 1,000 farms, Satan is exercising what? His power. He sweeps away the ripening harvest, and famine and disaster follow. He imparts to the air a deadly chain, and 1,000 perish by the pestilence. When you talk about the sweep away the ripening harvest and famine and distress follow, what I think it is talking about.
St. Elizabeth is one of the basket food parish,
yes,
of Jamaica. And so LNG writing is fulfilling exactly what the storm. It sweeps away the ripening harvest. And right now, Jamaica could face a famine. Yeah, we can face a famine.
All right. The problem is that the government says something and said you should not price what? Gold, you know there's something they call it? You ever go to Coronation Market and with scallion and all of that, the price? Everything is being hiked up. I just, let me tell you something. I have a puncher during, just after the storm. Just when the storm was coming and light went. And And I remember I went on to plug my tire. It was $200. I can't afford my tire to remain punctured. Because anything happen and there's an emergency. And what I did is to go and check the tire place. They said they don't have no light to work. And when I end up go to the third tire place, they decide to do it. You know what? How much man they charge me? $1,000. I give him $500. I said, this we have. And the man stand up and look like more and lick me down. I said, look, I took out $100 more. I said, see, them I have no more. And then walk away. $600. And he did not even take off the tire. He plugged it same day. Said something run up in it. Imagine food, when they sweep away food, and there is the demand in economics, demand and supply. When the demand is what? High. What? Beautiful. So the demand is the supply is small, and the demand is high. What? That will send up what? Price. And the poor can't afford those prices. So what? Starvation and famine will follow. So we're bringing economics in prophecy. So it's going to economic buying and selling. It's going to be the harsh thing going further with the Sunday law. And what will Ellen White says, what will is God, because we not displease God with these climate change, why we need a Sunday law? Nothing is new under the sun. No. I want to read this and ask you a question. Ellen White write this. To the little remnant scattered abroad, April 6, 1846, paragraph 8, it says here, about 4 months since I had a vision of events all in the future, I saw the time of trouble, such as never was. Jesus told me it was the time of Jacob's trouble, that we should be delivered out of it by the voice of God. Then I saw the 4 angels cease to hold the 4 winds, and I saw famine, pestilence, sword. Nation rose against nation, and the whole world was in confusion. Then we cried to God day and night for deliverance, until we began to hear the bells on Jesus' garment that is in the most holy place. And I saw Jesus rise up his holiest, and as he came out, we heard the tinkling of the bells and knew that our high priest was coming out. Then we heard the voice of God, which shook the heavens and the earth, and gave the 144,000 the day and the hour of Jesus' coming. Then the saints were free, united, and full of the glory of God, for he has turned their captivity. And I saw the flaming cloud come where Jesus stood. Then Jesus laid off his priestly garment and put on the kingly robe, and took his place on the cloud which carried him to the east. That means that he's coming out. So it's when Jesus leaves the most holy place, he's moving eastward. And that's why that angel that came from the east and tell the 4 angels, hold, is coming from the sanctuary that is in heaven. All right? Now, I have several questions to ask you here. How do you hear that tinkling of the bell? To ask, In what time will you hear the tinkling of the bell that Jesus is coming out? What events will give you the indication? When the people are bright. Yes, she's correct. She is correct also. The mark of the beast, that's when you know that what? Jesus, no, not totally. That is when our probation closes. No. I'm going to ask a more pointed question. That is when you know that he already reached the what? The judgment of the living already started. And when the judgment of the living ends, what indication? Yes, it's a mark of the beast time that, and the time of trouble, yes. But what event you'll know that he is finished and is actually coming out? Yes, but we're going deeper now. Yeah, when you know that he moves and he has gone. Yes, the plagues, you know, say he's finished with the judgment and he's coming out. That is the twinkling of the bell, the events. Plagues are happening all around across the world. All right? And you when you look at what is happening, and say, but another 7 last plague, this swords are come up on everybody around the world like this. You know, and the sun, people are bad to eat because of the sun too hot. And then it's a burn of people, and I give them some, and them a bad for pain. All around the world, you look Argentina bad for pain, Cuba bad for pain, US are bad for pain, the Vatican and the priests them are bad for pain. Cry for pain. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm serious. Sister Joy, go ahead.
But it is said that the individual plagues will not fall on every country at the same time. So you're saying that Argentina, this place and that place is having pain and sores and all these things. So what is the correct thing? Is it going to fall?
The Bible says all who receive the mark of the beast will have sores. They will have sores. That is globally. In plague number 5, it is being specific. He says the darkness will come on the kingdom and the seat of the beast. There. That's not global. So yes, I said some will be and some will not. All right? And Ellen White says the same thing. Go ahead. Last paragraph says, coming, the saints were freed and united. That's what? I don't see that part. And the black cloud was the sign of the Son of Man, while the cloud was passing from the holiest to the east, which took a number of days. The synagogue of Satan worshipped at the saints' feet. And it says sick. Sick means it's an error. And the teachers are here. I learned that if something is original and you're quoting from it and it has an error in it, you put it in bracket and put SIC, meaning it's something is wrong with this. Yeah, so they acknowledge that is an error. All right? All right, so the thing is that we are supposed to be united. Coming, the saints were freed, united. What that you think that united means? Anybody? Sister Altisha.
I think based on what we did this morning about the islands fleeing, we'll all be united in one place, come together in one place from different.
Beautiful. Because they could not be united in Christ. That would have been that probation already closed. So it united is a physical united will take with God's people. All right? And the islands at the time would be all sunk. All right? Based on the time where, because matter of fact, when Christ finishes his atonement in heaven, do you know that there will be a next earthquake just before the great earthquake? I'm going to show you a scripture with that.
Is there a specific reason why the islands are going to be sunken?
The earth will rock to and fro like a drunkard. And great earthquake, the tsunamis that will be happening will be covered, even the highest, or they weren't built to withstand such a magnitude earthquake. So the mountain range, if you notice, person who do geology, I study a little about geology. There are something you call tectonic plates. There is like, all right, you have an orange, and you slice the orange. You know, all right, I'm not using orange. You know cube? So these things, they move around and they are together. The earth is like that. It's shifting. But how it is being shifted in a way that cause the inner core to collapse. So those collapse. So most of the islands that were not big enough will sink. Right now in most of the continents, they call something they call sinkholes. Similar, but it's going to be on a larger scale. That actually sunk and caused mountain range to disappear, islands to disappear. Go ahead, Elder Forrest. The microphone.
There's a question here.
Yes.
Liquid occupies space, right?
Beg your pardon?
Liquid occupies space.
Liquid, yes.
With all those billions of gallons of oil that is being removed from inside the earth, and because it is used up, it turns into gas. What happened to those places? Could it be that those places, when the movement starts, that will provide space for some of the islands to go?
Could be. I don't know. I can't answer that. But I can tell you something. Those oil reserves below the earth will be lit one day and cause a lake of fire. All right? Now, let us look at this. As I said, Isaiah 24 verse 20 says, the earth shall what? Reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy on it. Remember said all these transgressions and the sinful act of people are causing climate change. See, this is the ultimate of it, the transgression. God is coming from his world. Even the inanimate object, the earth, will be shaken under sin. Cannot behold as a righteous God in the presence. He has to shake. That's how the whole creation grown it, ready to be delivered. And shall fall and not rise again. Now, we looked at Revelation. We're not going into it. For those who are online, read Revelation 16 verse 20. It speaks of that the islands of the mountains shall not be found anymore. Also, Revelation 6 verse 14, we find that. But one of the things we want to look at is Matthew chapter 24 verse 29 and Luke 21, 24 to 26. It states that, let us read Luke chapter 21 verse 24 to 26. Luke 21, inviting you to turn your Bibles to Luke 21, 24 to 26. It says here, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be what? Fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the what? Sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Know that when you have hurricane, seas and the wave actually roar. Sure, talking about powerful hurricanes. Now, we were talking about the stars, signs in the stars. I told you about 3-eye atlas. Is a shooting star, but they are saying it seems like somebody is controlling the star, like a remote. It comes so like a ship, spaceship going up, stop here, now move this way, showing certain glory. Normally, the normal meteoroid have a tail behind it. This one though has a tail of dusk. All right? And it's supposed to be a certain color when it comes in near to the any sun or something like. It doesn't have that. So they are saying probably it's an alien technology. Now, let us look at this. Ellen White says here in her writing, Great Controversy, page 556.2, says, these familiar spirits, as they will pertain to be these visitants. When they talk about visitants, what the other word for visitants to this earth? Aliens. So Ellen White is calling them aliens. He says these visitants from other worlds are declared by the Bible to be what? Spirits of what? Devils. And she gives the reference number in the reference in the Bibles there. All right? Now, it continues by saying this in the Great Controversy, that they are called the pretended what? Visitors from the world of spirits. Why they being pretended? Who is a pretender? One, yes, correct. One who pretends to be what he is not. Now, if you notice, Satan was here long and his angels were on earth before us. Do you know that? When he was cast down to this earth, the earth was full of darkness. It was a prison for him and his angels. And it will be a holding place again when Christ comes the second time for 1,000 years in darkness again, a prison of darkness. No. Go ahead. All right, hold a minute for the benefit of those who are online.
in Revelation 12, he said, woe be unto the inhabitants of the earth and the things which are therein, because the devil has come down unto us having great wrath. So was he here before or after? Because him come down while the earth was inhabited. Because he said, woe be unto the inhabitants.
I'm going to let Barry, and I must applaud you for that. That not for that question. No, let us turn to 2 Peter. 2 Peter, give me a minute to find it. Matter of fact, turn to Jude first. I send you to Jude first. Jude, the book of Jude. Reading from verse 6. Reading verse 6. It says here, Jude 6. You ready? It says, and the angels which kept not their what? First estate, that means that they were first in heaven, but left their own habitation, he has reserved for in what? Everlasting chain under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So they were in darkness. What darkness? And when this darkness took place, let us look in 2 Peter. Turn to 2 Peter. I'll give you 2 Peter. I think it's 2 Peter 2 or 3. All right. No, 2 Peter 2, verse 2. Reading from verse 4. Reading, just 1 minute here. 2 Peter 2, verse 4. It says, for if God spare not the angel that sinned, but cast them down to what? Where? Hell. And deliver them into what? Chain of darkness when he cast them out, to be reserved unto judgment. So he cast them down to hell. Hell, the next word for hell is what? Without form and void. That's the word. The earth was in chaotic form. He reserved them and reserved them a day in which God will make them pay for what they have done in heaven, created a revolution and sin in heaven. No. When he was cast out, God said he must have a witness. Then the first week of creation comes into being, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. Satan was already there. So when on the 6th day, on the 5th day, when he created the vegetations and all of that, and for Adam and Eve, before Adam and Eve come on the scene, the same week, he created what? A tree of life. And he created what? Tree of knowledge of good and evil. That means that Satan did exist. So that Adam and Eve could make the choice. Either if they follow God or they follow Satan. So there is a Satan that exists because of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, about a foe that is so vicious. So he came in the form of a snake, or even before that. I'm going to tell you. Sister Monica, you follow that part? You follow that part? You're following? I hope you're following. So when that creation week started, on the 4th day, also, he created Scorpio, the scorpion in the sky. Remember I told you about that? Let us look at Job chapter, is Job? Job chapter 26. At Job chapter 26. Job chapter 26, reading verse 13. It says, by his spirit he has what? Garnished the heavens, that created the heavens. His hand has formed the what? Crooked serpent. Talk about the creation. And the serpent is a constellation that forms the serpent. The serpent there, a symbol of, say, that sin is already in the universe on the fourth day of the week. So you have not only have the star that formed that shows that sin already exists, and God now on the sixth day created a tree of knowledge, good and evil. Yes, that same one. But I don't want to get too deep into that one. That shows you a man stepping on the scorpion's head. Yes. Now, to go further now, when Adam and Eve did sin, Satan is allowed to go back into the heavens in the present. And that's happening in Job when God was having his council meeting. Satan present himself. And God asked him in Job 1, where thou comest himself by walking up and down into the earth. He came to represent earth. Prior to that, he did not. No, let us look to the text. Never represent. He could not. He wanted to go back. And remember, in Ellie White, he bring it out. You cannot. Because you cannot go back into heaven. When he saw Adam and Eve having devotion and worship and they were happy, he said, plan their downfall. And not until he got that downfall, he becomes the dominion turned to Satan. The dominion of lordship come to him and not man anymore. Now, let us look now clearly at Revelation chapter 12. Go ahead.
You just mentioned that at the time of Job, he was given permission to go. Yes, but before that, you had other persons here on earth. So what was he doing at that time? And did he not represent earth at that time?
Yes, but we only have one account of it. But that's why I give an example. Not that he could not, but from Adam and Eve's sin, he could have, all right, entered. Because of sin, he take over. We take over the lordship and kingship to him. Now, let us look at Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea and of the, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because ye know it that his time is but a short time. Now, this occasion, you notice if you look at the verse that precede before it, verse 11, it says, and they overcame him by the blood. Overcame who? Satan. By the blood of the Lamb and by the word of his testimony. Saving of the blood to overcome him is known where? At Calvary. At Calvary, the crushing of Satan's head has begun. The crushing. So Satan, deceitfulness was known and he could not at the cross go back into heaven. He was cast out twice. That's why you read that. That's the second time he was cast out. Cannot be represent earth anymore. They found out his deceptive work. And that's why it mentioned the blood in verse 11 and the rejoicing and it's cast down. Cannot come back to represent no and trouble and accuse. You have to do it right here on earth. All right? So it cannot enter back like you say in Job again because of the second cast out. So he was cast out 2 times. First, he was cast out in darkness, and then man saying he could have re-entered. And then now, because of the cross and the universe sees ways, then he was cast out again when inhabitants is on the earth. All right? All right? 2 times he was cast out. And Ellen White alluded to it, says the second time. The first time, if you have a first time, you also have a second time. They read the word first, second, third. When you use those numerical value, it shows that there is if you use first, there means a second. If you use a second, there is a first or maybe a third. All right? That's all you use. When you use those numerical values. All right? So therefore, he was cast out 2 times out of heaven. All right? So persons who don't, understand, they say, but wait, inhabitants on the earth is there. That's what I said. There's a good question she asked, and I like that question so that I can be able to explain this in this form. Now, they pretended to be visitants from different worlds. So actually, Satan is here before us. He was cast out in darkness. When God recreated the earth, it was no longer called hell anymore. It was hell, based on the condition. It will become hell again. Can I tell you when it was going to become hell again? In the 1,000 years. Yes. And that's where, after that 1,000 years, the lake of fire take place. At the ending of the 1,000 years. Because when Satan is taken out of his prison. So he can be able to tempt people. And that's why he will tempt people and say, look here, for those who lost already now, he will say, let us take over that city. And that's when fire and brimstone come and destroy them. All right? Now, it goes on now and says here, in Ellen White, she used a word, the connection of the visible with the invisible world, the ministration of angels of God, and the agency of evil spirits are plainly revealed in the scriptures and inseparably interwoven with human history. That's where I'm going to ask a question now. She used a word, interwoven with human history. What that phrase means? Anybody? Huh? Yes. Huh? Use the mic, please. Use the mic, please. Yeah.
As brother
Yes.
said that throughout human history, angels and human beings has always been interacting. Yes.
Beautiful and sharing information.
Right.
So human history is what you see, some of the technology, is not totally from man's perspective or intelligence. They were taught by fallen angels. That's why it says interwoven with human history. All those pyramids, and they were well precise. They don't have satellite to put them in line with the planets. And the scientists nowadays have said, but wait, how those people have the technology there to do this and do all of these so precise? When you look at it, it's like a laser cut the thing and say, no, what they do not have laser back then. Do you know the Stonehenge? All who ever hear about the Stonehenge in England? There no crane that exists today or no technology can move them. And they said, oh, they are aligned with the planet, like the planets. So how they move them? They must have a technology, but the technology doesn't exist. Do you know through the book trip into supernatural, share some highlight on it. It says it was evil angels that caused them to be placed in such a manner by levitation. You know what I mean by the word levitation? You see, like the stones are flying in the air by themselves and come and be placed by the power of evil spirit. And that's why the Druids worship at that shrine to celebrate those so-called fallen angels. So that's why Ellen White wrote here, they are interwoven with what? Human history. Something historical monuments and sites there is not man make it. Fallen angels. That's what they are saying. That's what Ellen White is saying. So we are not on our own. That's what this text means from Ellen White thing. Interwoven with human history. They are intertwined. It's a part of angels' history too, not only human. Human and angel combined together. All right, go ahead.
I'm saying the maths, what they're doing now, that were the original maths in the time of Nebuchadnezzar, them, where they use decimeter, centimeter. That's why they go back to the original maths now. So that's not what those buildings, I think, were made by those maths.
The Babylonians and the Chinese use some high-grade math to calculate these, and some formulae to come up with certain precision, yes. But some of the technology is not just there. It is coming from angels, all right? Evil angels, all right? Now, let us move forward. The interwoven example is two or more things are connected or blended so deeply that they are hard to separate. So the technology is intertwined with fallen angels. Now, we looked at that text already. We'll look at the mysterious three-eye atlas object leads NASA and Harvard to take unprecedented action in space. What they are saying, this three-eye atlas, what they said that this three-eye atlas thing is moving on a trajectory unlike any other meteoroid. It's not normal. Because it's like it's flying so, and then it go like that. It like you have a remote control for it. The normal rocks that are coming, they're coming with a direction. If the direction coming like this, it can as a zigzag. So it go in a way like you throw a stone. But this one move, stop like a car, drive there. So no, something is wrong. Yeah, that's what they are saying. Now, this is what Fox News talk about. October 30th, 2025. This October just gone. It says J.D. Vance, which is the Vice President of the United States, commenting on it. They said some of the things that they see out there, they can't explain. And it's now is alluding that there are fallen angels or demons or good angels, whatever. But we know those acts are not good angels, it's fallen angels. All right? All right, so the good angels have been ministering spirits for them who are heirs of salvation, the scripture says. Now, when we looked at these Freemasons, they said they have 5 generations in order to condition people's mind to accept Satan when he comes as Christ. We looked at those from the book, The World's Oldest Bible is a Fake, page 57. There are 5 generations. No, they said 1946 to 64 is called Generation 1, or otherwise, AKA Baby Boomers time. In 1965 to 1980s, is generation 2, generation X. We said from 1980s to early 2000, generation 3, or otherwise generation Y, or the millennial generation. Then we have the mid-2000s. You see, we're going in time for the final conflict. Generation 4, or otherwise called Generation Z, born after